A man is in the bathroom one moment, and the next, he vanishes. Henry has no control over his time traveling. He can suddenly appear at any point in time, in any place. But what makes it even more embarrassing is that his clothes don't travel with him. Every time he jumps through time, he has to frantically search for something to wear. Because of this, he's often mistaken for a thief and gets caught. Each time he travels, the people he meets end up playing a crucial role in his life. And on his 30th birthday, he finds himself standing in front of a little girl. At a glance, he recognizes her. It's his future wife, Claire, at 6 years old. Henry tells her that he's a time traveler, but she doesn't believe him. That is, until he disappears right before her eyes. From that day on, young Claire becomes fond of Henry. She secretly sets out her father's clothes, preparing for Henry's next unexpected arrival. Over the years, Henry keeps appearing in the same meadow, visiting her at different points in her childhood. But the last time she sees him is on her 18th birthday. After that, he never shows up again. 2 years later, Claire is at a library when she suddenly sees Henry again. Overwhelmed with emotion, she rushes toward him, tears welling up in her eyes. She thought this reunion would be a passionate embrace after years apart. But to her shock, Henry doesn't recognize her at all. Then, she realizes, this Henry is much younger than the one she knew. This isn't the Henry who traveled through time. This is a Henry who exists in the present, meaning this is their first real meeting in the same timeline. Claire invites him to dinner. At the restaurant, Henry confesses that he has no memory of her at all. Claire, on the other hand, is overwhelmed with emotion. She tells him, "I've known you since I was 6 years old. You used to travel back in time to visit me. I recorded every time you appeared in my diary."
Could we pretend just for a minute that this is the first time we've met?
Okay. Intrigued by this mysterious yet familiar girl, Henry begins to fall for her. As time goes on, their love blossoms. One day, Henry sneaks a peek at Claire's diary and gets caught.
Are you reading my diary?
I was trying to find the dates. The dates that I go to see you. So I could tell a little girl in the meadow. If I'm that important to her, I want to be able to tell her when I was coming to see her so she wouldn't have to wait.
Then he suddenly travels back in time to the day before his mother's death. He tells her about Claire, about their love and their future together. His mother, unaware that the man in front of her is actually her future son, still smiles warmly and gives him her blessing.
Make sure that girl knows how you feel about her.
Your son loves you very much.
I know.
When Henry returns to the present, he tells his father about his plans to marry Claire. But his father, still grieving his wife's death, resents Henry's power. "If you can travel through time," he says, "why couldn't you save your mother?" Even so, he hands Henry his late wife's wedding ring. That same day, Henry slips the ring onto Claire's finger. Her love becomes his anchor, finally giving his restless soul a home. But on their wedding day, just as they're about to start their life together, Henry vanishes once again.